Let's get him on the show.
A couple of people asked if they could come on the show. One guy who was this guy is an Iraq war veteran, had severe brain trauma. He got in a gunfight at a club like 10 years ago, shot 3 guys, one of them in the face in self-defense. They let him go, and if he had gone to court and like pursued it, he could have had it expunged because he was released on those charges. However, they didn't, and they stayed on his record. So then when he got caught for selling drugs, they gave him 20 fucking years because this prior thing was still on his record, even though he didn't serve time for it. So they were like, this is your second strike, and your first one was a gun battle where you assaulted 3 people. He's like, well, I wasn't convicted of that. He's like, well, it's on your record that you were. And so they gave him 20 fucking years. He's like, I'm in here doing cartel time over a pound of weed and 3 ounces of cocaine. He's like, I get that I need to go to jail, but I've been in here for 16 years now. Like, I got 4 more to go. His daughter does a political podcast that deals a lot with the federal prison system and prisoner issues and that sort of thing. So he left me all her information. I guess he expected me to get in touch with her and get her on the show or something like that. But you just take that information and smile when that sort of thing happens.
I don't even mention the podcast to acquaintances who don't ask. Like I was wanting to ask, like, you brought that up, or they just inquired about it, and you're like, yeah, I do a show with 2 retards who talk about stupid shit. And
yeah, people would ask because it comes up, are you going to have to, what are you going to do after this? Because a lot of these guys, they lost their jobs or whatever. Now they got to get a new job, and they're like, they're taking like classes in there so that they can do stuff on the outside. But yeah, it would come up one way or another, like what I did or what I was up to or whatever. I would tell them, I would explain to them that I do a podcast and what a podcast is. But this guy was like, yeah, my daughter does a podcast. And it was like, this guy actually knew what was up.
This is Snow.
This is the war veteran who had all the brain injuries.
Okay.
What was
he
the
was
reception?
Muslim. He was a nice guy.
Podcast shit, like,
yeah, they were like, whatever. Or like, whatever.
Neat.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. I sold drugs, or I was running with the family. You tell them you have an exciting career, and they're like, yeah, me too. I was moving pounds, son.
Is a pound a lot? I guess.
Pounds. One guy.
Pounds whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Definitely depends on what it is. One guy, I was explaining to him, he's like, how much did you have to get 2 months? I was like, half an ounce, man. Half an ounce. He's like, what the fuck? I was moving 100 pounds a week.
That guy's cool as fuck.
His name is Stinky.
Stinky?
That was Stinky.
Like that kid in Hey Arnold.
There was Stinky, Snow. I'm trying to think of like some of their names.
I like that everyone in prison went by gamer tags.
Yeah, a lot of them had gamer tags, dude. Oh man, Block.
Yeah, my name is No Scope XX69.
Even the guards had gamer tags. That's Clicker. Oh, that's Clicker. All right. Clicker was a. I won't go. He
the guards tough? Like with it, like no.
Only the officers.
An officer's a guard boss.
Yeah. There was this captain who came in who was sent in to like quote unquote clean up the camp, and that meant both literally and figuratively. So he was going to, all right, you're definitely getting out there with pressure washers and scraping paint off the walls and repainting the walls, but I'm gonna sniff out those of you running contraband in here. And if y'all don't clean this camp up for me, I'm going to bring somebody in who will. If you want to see a strike team, you're going to see one in 2 weeks. And a strike team would mean like in 2 weeks, they just storm in there with riot gear at 2 a.m. and fucking line us up and start stripping everybody down, like running through everybody's shit, throwing it out on the floor.
Jesus.
I saw a few people get searched there. I'll say for next week. Because there were guys that got caught with marijuana, but every drug was in there. Like
this isn't
pills.
like a lead into a question or lead into a story kind of thing. I'm just curious. Sure. What did they have on them? Like the guards, they don't have guns, right?
No,
they just have like batons and tasers, or what?
Just pepper spray.
That's it?
Yeah.
You say that's it, but I think pepper spray's better than taser.
Maybe, I don't know. I just imagine that's because they don't want them to get control of it.
I don't know what it's about. And there were women guards too, which I felt like I would.
It's a bad idea.
I mean, there were women like there was the lady who ran the library was a woman, and we'd just be alone with her, hanging out like 10 of us at a time, just chilling with her. You know, of course, nobody was interested in her.
Out of the open?
No,
Was
in the
she
back.
fat and or ugly or
You
old?
said no, so she was behind someplace safe, like.
Oh, I thought you meant like where others could see. No, we're in the library in the back in her office, like just right across. I mean, you know, we're hanging out with her. It's pretty casual.
You say she's not attractive, or you implied it, but I mean, you're in prison for 8 years. Maybe you lower your standards a touch.
It's the closest thing that came to that was like there was a couple of guards, or like the unit manager was actually looked like she used to be hot. It was this black lady, like big tits and a big ass, and it was like 10 years ago she was hot, or 10 years ago she was like a serious MILF, and now she's like maybe I don't know how old. It's hard to tell with black people for me anyway. But you know, black don't crack, and but she started forming some cracks around the edges, and but yeah, everybody, if they could look at her, they were like, she got on that pantsuit today. Which one? The blue one? Hell yeah, got the blue one, got the red pants. That booty jumping like a couple cantaloupes in there.
But,
dude, if it weren't for the threat of being raped or beaten up, these prison guys sound hilarious.
the prison videos I see, first of all, they say the standards are low. Fucking any one of them is fine. They also say, like, some of these guys are relatively smooth talkers. You'd think they're not bright because they're in prison, but hey, you know.
They're cunning.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, they're very cunning, and coupled with that cunning is unlimited time, right? So these women go home to their husbands, and they don't necessarily just shower them with praise and attention and love. But these guys in prison, it's easy for them. They're just there trying to fuck some woman. They'll tell her lies, tell her truths, tell her whatever they think will work on her, and that's their hobby. That's the only thing they had to do. They'll sit there and plan it in their copious amounts of spare time. Yeah. And you'd think, like, I don't know, I can just see how over time someone gets manipulated into fucking a prison.
They flirt back. The secretary would flirt back. He'd be like, you gonna have to come over here and check my blood pressure. Like talking to one of the nurses. She'd be like, check your own damn blood pressure. I don't give a shit. but she'd smile.
See, this sounds hilarious.
But she'd smile when she said it.
Okay.
You know, it was like, check your own damn blood pressure. I don't give a shit.